So hey everyone, and welcome to today's session on creating conversion-driven packaging design. This is an incredibly interactive workshop where we will be auditing your packaging for your CPG products to give you real-time feedback on what's going well in areas that you might think about in order to reach your goals. So for this session, I've invited on Sanders, who's my friend and collaborator for this series. Sanders runs NUEX Creative, which is a design agency that's really focused on not just, great looking design, but actually how that design has an impact on your business by driving customers to actually purchase it. So for today, we're going to be doing a little bit of an overview starting out of what makes great packaging design, and then we're going to be jumping into the audits. Sanders, welcome on in. This is our third time running the session. It's been extremely popular, so we keep bringing it back and excited to jump in. So I'll pass it over to you, say hello and take it over.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you. I'm Sanders, the founder of NUEX Creative. I have a little bit of a deck real quick that I'll put together or show you, and then we will jump into the brand audit. So I will fly through this a little bit fast because I want the meat and potatoes to be through the brand audit. But as I mentioned, I'm the founder of NUEX Creative. Um, and today we're obviously offering a free brand audit. And for anyone that we're not able to get to today, just visit nuexcreative.com/foodbevy and we'll give you a free audit, as well as 30% off your first project. So we design winning brands and packaging that sells. We've successfully completed over 5,000 projects, generated over $1 billion for our clients, and we have 5 stars in Clutch and Google. We recently won a platinum award for the Hermes Creative Awards, as well as 2 gold awards and an honorable mention. So we're really proud of that. And this is some of the portfolio pieces that we've done, some of the brands that we've helped build up. So 72% of consumers say that packaging design does influence their purchase decision. That number is probably even growing even further as brands are elevating constantly. You can see that in the grocery stores. Everything has changed from the Wonder Bread era. And the packaging matters, right? This is your first impression for customers, for retail stores. It's your way of telling your brand narrative. You're not always there to demo your packaging in stores, as some of you probably have had that issue. And so your packaging has to do that for you. It has to tell that story and convert when you're not there. Going over the customer journey a little bit to set the stage of what we'll kind of be reviewing when we look through your packaging is you have to understand the customer journey. So when customers come in, you have to know what the environment's like, what the aisles look like, peripheral selling, what's going to grab their attention to maybe stop when they're walking through the aisle and look at your product. They're definitely going to do some comparison of your competition. So you have to be able to stand out, and then ultimately convert through secondary information of what's actually on the packaging. And then there's also the transaction experience, the unboxing experience, what it's like. That's not just about the packaging design itself. You should also be looking at what the experience is when someone purchases your product. And so some guardrails to kind of help when we look at winning brands, they generally follow the principles of bold branding. They have key information, clear visual hierarchy, obviously quality designs, and then a unique brand experience. And those are things that all of your packaging should have, and then we'll go through that when we review your brand. So rebranding is very important. If you ever have stagnant sales or you're not be able to target the right customer or stand out from your competition, RX Bar is a really good case study where they were actually able to be acquired by Kellogg's for $600 million when they rebranded and focused on showing the ingredients. And this was a unique tactic that a lot of granola bars were not doing, but this helped them stand out from their market and their competition. But rebranding can also hurt you. So you have to be very strategic on how you rebrand, right? Gap is an example of this. In 6 days, they lost $100 million in 2010. They immediately, as you can tell, if you've seen any Gap store, they reverted back to their original logo. But this was not a strategic rebrand. And in 6 days, they had to revert back after a $100 million loss. So that's why it's very important to be very strategic with any rebrand or updates. Some case studies that we've done. Smoothie was a smoothie company that we recently rebranded. Their logo just kind of seemed thrown together. They didn't really have a lot of strategy around the information that was on there, and we helped them do a full refresh and a rebrand. Made it more exciting and more memorable, while also increasing the information of selling points to increase their conversions. Sometimes it's the little details that matter when you do a rebrand. You don't have to do a full rebrand, but the small details are a difference between making or breaking. So Zaps is an example of a product that it's energy pouches, but unfortunately the way that their designs were good, but it looked too much like it targeted nicotine, which does not have, and it wasn't flavor centric, which is the big core of their product. So we made it very flavor centric, made it exciting, and now they're dominating Amazon. So yep, that's just us a little bit in a nutshell, and just kind of the stage of what we'll be looking at. And then now I'd like to go into the brand audit and start reviewing some of the awesome packaging that you have.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Sanders, and going through that. Just as a quick aside, have you seen so RX Bar is founded by Peter Rayall, and after taking I think like a 5 year or a couple year break from selling that business, he now launched David, and you see they've launched a cod, like a boiled cod product on top of their like high protein energy bar.
No, I haven't. That's
You have to check
interesting.
that out. It's really interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts on that later.
You
But
have to
for
look that up afterwards.
the audit, we have a bunch of people that jump into the chat. Why don't we start maybe towards the beginning here? We do have I don't know, like 10 companies to get through, Sanders. I know these can take like 20 minutes each. So I'll kind of keep time. We're gonna try to keep it to about 6 minutes per company just to look through and go from there so we can get as many as possible. And then if there are other questions or follow-ups later, feel free to book a one-on-one time with Sanders. So I see. Let's join through in the chat. Andrea, if you do have a link or want your product review, you can drop that in the chat as well. I didn't see that. But we had Rosa with Poporium. I know Rosa said she has her packaging in person. Rosa, do you want to come up and showcase what you have?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We
Hi,
can. And
Rosa.
I think, what did we say, Sanders, last time that hurt? Well, sharing what your product is, like the 30-second pitch, and then you can show your packaging along with it as well.
Sure. I own the Poporium. We are a handcrafted gourmet popcorn company. We specialize in air popped popcorn, popped in coconut oil, and make a number of different flavors. We definitely make our popcorn pretty old school, and I don't think I'm able to communicate any of that. I'll give you guys a little background. I've been in business for 8 years. I pivoted. I did a major pivot in the past 3 years where I went from a 5,000 square feet store in Mississippi. I opened up a small manufacturing facility, and then I opened up a second manufacturing facility while moving back home here in Rhode Island. And what worked for me in Mississippi was being in a small town, being at events, being at colleges, being able to tell my story verbally. But that is no longer the case, especially as we're trying to grow. I can't be in front of every single customer.
Mm.
So I will show you guys my package. I will kind of tell you what I like, I guess what I'm a little attached to. Um, and then kind of go from there. I have two packaging. This is the one that I really want to, I'm sorry, this camera here, I feel like it's blurring it out. Hold on one second. Let
It,
me
it
see.
is a little bit, yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
do you have any of that packaging on? Because I have the website up, and do you have any of that on the website or only in person
I
right now?
do not think so. I think it's the way that I have Zoom actually that it's blurring it out. Let me see.
Yeah, if you click on video, the drop down for the video, there's
Oh,
a
right there.
blur my
Yeah,
background. Perfect.
thank you. I see it right there. Okay, we're back. Can you see us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the packaging that we use for wholesale, also when we are selling to customers directly. So this is mainly wholesaling though. So this is what you would see if it's sitting on shelf. What I like the most about this packaging, and I am actually reconsidering packaging as a whole. I'm very open. You cannot hurt my feelings, so please be very honest. The thing I like about this packaging is I like my customers to be able to see the kernel.
Hmm.
I'm not big on packaging that has pictures of the product. I like to see the product myself. That's about the biggest thing I like about this packaging, but I kept it very simple. I've been getting feedback from a few people as if I should add things or keep it simple, and it's very confusing.
Perfect.
Um,
No, that's super helpful. So let's pass on. I know Sanders probably has some questions. Sanders, do you have any questions to get started?
Yeah, definitely. So you said that you were able to convey kind of your brand story, your messaging. What is your differentiation against other popcorn brands, and what is that story that you're trying to show on your packaging?
So our biggest thing is that so I am from the Cape Verdean Islands, and I went into business because I wanted to open up a nonprofit, and so now we are starting to donate a minimum of 10% of our sales to help women in the Cape Verdean Islands become entrepreneurs, self-sufficient, and gain freedom.
Hmm.
And then the product itself, so that is our social connection to it. But the product itself, it's air popped, it's made with non-GMO kernels, lots of gluten-free option, dairy-free options as well, handmade, popped in coconut oil instead of corn oil, vegan options. So we are. I wouldn't necessarily label us as a healthy snack because we still have that good old butter caramel with a lot of butter, but we have
Hmm.
lots of healthy options.
Okay. And are each of so we saw that one label, are they different colors? Like how are you scaling each flavor? Or is there different colors per flavor?
So no, so the only difference that will be in each label is going to be that name.
Okay. So there's a couple of things with that. One, you're missing some key selling points. You just listed a few that could help with increase your sales. You have to tell the customer what they don't know. If they don't know that it's vegan, you need to say that. You know, it does a couple things. One, there's certain selling points that will incentivize a customer to pick it up and explore further. There's certain selling points that will help you differentiate from your competition. So when they're looking at you versus someone else, that can help them choose your package. Um, and then also the last thing is it removes some of the deterrents or barriers, right? So people that have allergens, like people that have to stick to vegan diets or gluten-free diets, for example, then that reduces that barrier if they see that on the packaging that that you don't have those elements, right? So there's definitely some real estate on the front because I think the popcorn alone isn't enough to differentiate because it's been around for forever and there's it's a very saturated market. So those are a couple of things that you can do, and you can make them somewhat subtle, maybe have like one call it that it grabs attention. The other ones can still be secondary, so it's not detracting from your design. You can still keep it minimalistic and clean looking, but then it still be legible enough so that when they pick it up they can see that, oh well, this is also gluten free, this is keto, whatever the selling points are. The other thing too is that you might want to consider differentiating the colors on the flavor. So right now you have the flavor just written in black. It's very just like stamped on. And it's okay because you can see the flavors on the side, but it's not really creating much of a flavor experience. When customers see a collection of a brand and they see there's multiple flavors, it becomes really fun. And you want to think about that experience and create a fun flavor experience where they want to try each one, where they look and they go, oh, I want that one, I want that one. Or they're almost competing as friends, like, oh, like calling dibs on which flavor they're going to get. That's what you want to aim for. And if you're just putting on the flavor in black, and just type it in a generic font type for each one and they all look the same, then you're diminishing that flavor experience. You're not making them excited about the brand or trying them. And that's easy change by just slightly changing some of the colors per flavor to build that flavor experience. But you can also test, the colors of the fonts and the font styles to make more of a unique experience for each. And then if you added in some food imagery to some of that, sparingly, you could also make the tastiness aspects a little bit boosted. And if food looks tastier, then they're more likely to want to purchase it for the flavor too.
So I have a quick question. So one of the things that I'm trying to decide is if I should do, right now I have two different labels. And so I was wondering if I should use this real estate a little better and do one wraparound label, maybe with the QR code that tells our story. Like I said, we've done a lot of social things, like for LGBTQ rights and just Black Lives Matter and just things that go with the brand. And that's not anything I want to put in the packaging, but I could probably put a QR code on there where people can go and learn about me, about the brand. A lot of the times when I see brands who do those types of things, it just looks really cluttered. And I hate clutter. I'm
It
super
does.
OCD.
You have to prioritize, right? Prioritize what it is that you're going to put. Maybe have the brand story or something that you contribute to. You can keep it slim and lean. I don't know if I would do a full wraparound because you don't have food imagery on the packaging. And so if you lose that transparency, then they're not going to, they don't have an excitement to really pick it up and to purchase it. The popcorn bins that are similar to that at Target are a good example. They're very clean, minimalistic branding, very in line with what you're doing, but they do show what the flavors are on each. And so I wouldn't fully cover that up because I think that actually could hurt your sales. But you could extend the label on the back to include maybe a portion of your story and what you guys contribute to, and maybe a link to learn more. I would just prioritize what's the most important, focus on that one, not maybe put too much so it's not too cluttered. But the mission and everything behind it, I think, is good, but people are so used to that. I mean, when you look at Tom's and you look at certain brands that used to be like what they're synonymous for, and that's what they were for, and people bought it because what they contributed to. The reality is like the modern consumer is really just asking, what is it in for me? So that might help convert the sale. It might help them be loyal to you and appreciate you. But at the end of the day, they're not going to buy the popcorn because of what you donated to. They're going to buy the popcorn because of what it does for them. If it's tasty and if it's good. So I would still prioritize more of the focus on some of the designs on the front, and then add some of that story to the back as well.
Awesome. Perfect for that. So we're at time
Thank
for
you.
this one, but appreciate it, Sanders. Thanks, Rosa, for bringing it up and showcasing your packaging. Sanders, next we'll do Neela from Madrasi Chai. So we'd love to invite you up, Neela, as well. And the last thing that I'll just mention for Rosa and anyone else, it's always important when you're thinking about your packaging strategy to understand why people are choosing your popcorn over the others. Is it because of the nutritional value? Is it because of they've tried it and they're trying to find your packaging in the store, or is it because of like they know you, as you mentioned, like you had the store before? And so making sure that that comes out in your packaging as well. All right, perfect. So Neela, welcome on up. I would love for you to
Right.
share just the quick 30-second, 25-second version of your chai and your product.
Thanks, Jordan. Hi, Sanders. Thanks for doing this.
Hi, Anila.
Hi. So if you think you've tried chai, you have to rethink until you've actually tried madrasi, because this is the authentic recipe from South India, and it has all the spices, all the fresh, and we add some fresh ginger as well. So the taste is very different. And the brand has been doing well. The package, when people see it, they usually, oh, you're drinking chai now, you should try madrasi. Well, anyway, so the when people see the package, we receive a lot of positive feedback. But now we're at the stage where we are trying to get into retail stores. In fact, Costco has shown interest as well. So we're trying to repackage for the same reasons. One of the issues that we have with this packaging, of course, is the cost. If we want to enter into a retail place like Costco, we need to cut down on the cost. So we're looking at there are two options. Either we go ahead with the same package and the taste because customers know us like this, or we do a repackaging, we reduce the cost, and we go into Costco. If I can share my PowerPoint presentation, I can also show the new design that we are looking at so that I can have your views on this. Okay,
Sure,
you
you
have to,
should be able to share that real quick.
great, thank you.
Let's see. Okay, you can try sharing now.
Yeah.
Do you have an initial question, Sanders, as well?
Yeah, so what is your big differentiation of your chai versus any, competitor's chai?
It's the ingredients and it's the taste. So everything, we've tried so many other chais. So in fact, our founder, Nancy, she's tried several other chais and she's a huge chai fan. And she realized that when they say masala chai, it basically is vanilla chai. It doesn't have the real masalas. So once you try Madrasi, then you'll know what the authentic taste is because you can basically smell and taste the spices. It's the taste profile.
Okay. It's a little blur. Is it blurry for anyone else? It looks a little blurry for me,
Oh,
view
is
wise.
You
it?
make the image larger.
Let me see if I can just do slideshow. I- Is this bet? I don't think this is
Let's do
making
this.
any
In the lower
sense.
right-hand corner, there's like a little presentation
Oh,
button
yes, of
down
course.
there.
Yeah.
Try clicking that one.
Okay.
Continue to share, yeah. Okay, so I think it's probably a little blur. Is this similar? Is the label the same as the one that's on your website?
No, the label is a little
Oh, different.
different.
Okay.
The new label
Oh, this
says,
looks a little better. Let's keep
yeah.
it here. Don't
Okay,
move
Okay,
thank
all
you.
right. All right. Okay. So this is the new label.
Okay.
And so we now have it talks about how it's woman owned
Yeah.
and how it's from Chennai and from Madras. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sanders, what do you think?
Yeah. So I love the logo. I think it's really creative. It's really unique. You could try bolding it and add a little color to it just to have a little more contrast. It's missing the punch. Like the creativity is there and the uniqueness is there, which I love, but it's missing a little bit of that bold punch, right? We went over the slides of what winning brands do. They have bold branding and it makes it memorable. It also grabs attention. So maybe, try maybe like a darker outline around the secondary logo, see if that helps. You could also try adding a little bit of color to it based on each flavor. If you want to keep black so that's contrasted, you still can because contrast does help the brand stand out. But food wise, it also kind of makes it flavor centric, which is exciting. So well, I think the biggest thing is that you mentioned the differentiator, but it's not really mentioned on the packaging.
Hmm.
That message is lost, right? And so there's that education barrier that you're facing where customers don't know why to choose yours. And so that is the first issue that I think I would try to address is you're not there to demo it. Your packaging has to demo the product for you. You has to tell the customer what that is. Now you might have a story on the back and actually this window's covering it a little bit. So yeah, you have a little bit of a memorable story in the back, but you're not really conveying that it has the true natural spices that other chais don't have. And
Mm-hmm.
that selling point information, that narrative is the biggest differentiator and the most important thing that you need to convey. Life's too short to drink a bland chai or bland chai. I think it's a neat slogan, but I'm not sure how much value that has to the customer versus some of the selling point information, some of that narrative that you just mentioned. So I would try to maybe reprioritize that, unless somehow you tie that into that narrative.
Okay. And so to the left, we have how one can prepare the chai from the concentrate. What do you think? What is your feedback on that?
Very busy and confusing.
Okay.
So it should be simple steps, should be simple to read, simple to do. And what happens is right now you have it, one, it's not clear that these are steps. When you look at a packaging when they have cooking instructions, there's always like a 1, 2, 3. They have
Right.
symbols, they keep it very simple. You want to create any instructions on how to use a product should be made so that a 5-year-old can read it, understand it, and do it. And so if you look at this, you have literally smoke going over the mix as if it's part of the design. You're saying this is part of the design, it's not instructions, right? So that's already confusing. Then you have milk plus concentrate, but you have the numbers kind of separate and then serve protocol. The reality is a lot of people are going to skim over this and not realize that those are instructions.
Hmm.
So I would almost number them, and you can have fun with it if you want to have the cup icon, but it needs to be very clear that those are instructions, and it needs to be like 1, 2, 3 kind of step process, even if it is stylized in a unique way. Because I think that this looks a little busy. I think some people are skim over this and not going to realize that that's the instructions.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And then Neela, one thing to share just in terms of thinking about what to put on the packaging and how, the reason that RX Bar example was so powerful where they have the ingredients on the front is because that was their differentiator. When they're asked like, why should I buy your protein bar over others?
Mm,
In person, they kept saying, well, it's only made with these five simple ingredients. It was like front and center, and they turned into a design element, but that's what they were telling everyone. And so, what is it that you're using to describe your chai? And you mentioned some of that, the authentic recipe. Like that should be front and center, not just in words, but how do you visually and creatively showcase that so that
Yeah.
your packaging is doing the selling for you when you're not there?
got it. And your feedback on the colors?
I mean, for the chai and everything, I think the colors are okay. You have kind of some complementary colors, which is nice. You could test maybe vibrant, making them a little more vibrant. But for chai, I think it's definitely applicable to the context of it. But as Jordan was mentioning, the big thing is you have missed real estate, right? We're missing that selling points. We're missing that narrative.
Got it.
And then the other thing too is he mentioned some of the visuals, right?
Yeah.
So one way to make things look tasty, especially for food and beverage, it's crucial that something looks tasty because people want to consume it.
Got it.
If you have certain ingredients or spices that are used, you could try having some of those ingredients on the packaging. You can still keep it so there's some negative space to look really premium and like a small portion, but that might also kind of give it more of a flavor experience. It might also make it look tastier, and it might also convey what it is visually because people read symbols and images faster than they do text, right? If you see a picture of an orange on a cup, you know that that's the orange juice, and you're going to read that a lot faster than someone think just saying orange, right?
Right. 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 I get it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much. Thank you for your valuable feedback. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Neil. Thanks for
absolutely.
sharing. All
Oh,
right.
it's been
So
top
next
sharing.
next up we will be going to Alicia.
And then
Alicia
which
is with Elevate.
elevate? Let me pull that up. Perfect. I have that.
Perfect. Alicia, are you here?
I am. I am not on video, but thank you so much for sharing. This is my current package. I'm actually going to be moving into a pouch for single
Okay.
serve, but I think some of the same elements are going to be used, so I'd love to get your take on this. It's a non-alcoholic cocktail mix, and when I
Hmm.
go into the pouch, it's going to be a non-alcoholic, functional, ready to drink cocktail.
Okay. And then how do you use this? You just put it as the base and then add alcohol to it?
Right now you can serve it over ice or you can use it as the base and put alcohol on it. And
Okay.
the bottom right kind of shows you like the different how to mix it.
Okay, perfect. So you have it there. So I do like that you have the easy steps right there and the visuals. What is your big differentiation between other cocktail mocktail mixes?
It's all natural, so I don't have a lot of preservatives. I have no preservatives in it and the flavor.
Okay. Okay, so those two differentiators are not. So the first big issue that you have is legibility. If you look in
Mhm.
your packaging, this is a big use case. You can't
Yep.
read any of that.
Okay.
You have light text over a light background. So from a distance, I'm looking at these small ones because it's easier to see. If you're imagine you're a customer looking at the shelf, they really can't see that. They can barely see the branding on some of them. Um, so the first thing to do is help with the contrast and make everything more legible. Some of the watermark elements that you have, what was the design reason behind the style of like the watercolor painting style and
So it
stuff?
was to show a mix because I've got it's like a fusion of global flavors. So it's the blood orange and the cardamom coming together. So that was to do almost like a smoke, a mix, how things blend.
Okay. I mean, the concept's neat. My concern is some of them might not look tasty.
Mm.
So like this is a good example is if I mixed a drink and it was gonna look like this, I might be deterred or a little concerned. Um, and then the other thing is obviously like the legibility. And then also you have so all natural. And then I think what was the other selling point that you have that you mentioned that was not shown? Um,
So it's the flavors and the number of ingredients.
Okay. I thought you said there was one other thing, but there was definitely I think one other selling point they could probably add there besides the all natural, maybe simple ingredients. But you could definitely probably increase maybe one of those selling points to grab the attention, stand up from competition. The other thing too is like if uh if it's about the flavor, then it needs to look really flavorful. If that's your big differentiator, right now the flavor names are just stamped in white, so it's
Okay.
almost like they're secondary, like they're not that important to the customer. Um, Brands where they really focus on the flavor, they're usually more flavor centric, where the flavor itself and how it's written is almost as prioritized as the logo or the brand itself, right? That way you're looking at it, you're wanting to pick each flavor, and that's something that I think that could definitely be leveraged a little bit more here, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and I would definitely add some contrast so you can have the logo's cool. I think the logo's neat. It's very clean. It's very minimalistic. I like the background with the selling points, but you're losing a lot of the branding and a lot of the tastiness and a lot of the differentiation because of that legibility and then the lack of like kind of a flavor experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is great. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Hmm.
Alicia, I also love that just looking at your ingredients, right? For this one, it's water, blood orange, lime, sugar, cinnamon, cardamom. Like incredibly simple. And I know you mentioned like all natural and no like artificial ingredients or preservatives. I
Hmm.
think that there's
That's what it was. No
maybe
preservatives.
yeah, there may be a better way of telling and showcasing that on the front of the packaging because I think that's probably a really big selling point for people. Because even a lot of mixes will have like natural flavors or they'll have certain preservatives to keep it. And because yours are so straightforward, I think that's something not to rely on just an ingredient statement of like really highlighting that as how simple and delicious it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was the one that I was thinking of. You said no preservatives, but you also have no additives, no artificial colors. I would try to convey that probably all three, but at least one of them on the front, because that's your big differentiation from the competition, right?
Yep.
So if they see that, then they're more likely to pick you up, actually purchase your product over what the competitors have.
Sanders, I'm curious with something like this,
Yep.
would you recommend or maybe test it out of going with a just these ingredients or the opposite where you're saying we don't include any of these other things like preservatives, additives, colors?
It depends on what it is. I mean, sometimes if the ingredients change, it's gonna be a little wordy to list what they are. So sometimes brands will say only 5 ingredients, 5 simple ingredients, and I think that's a good selling point. Um, but I would first look at you always have to look at the target audience in the market. So I would look at the
Mhm.
market and see what everyone else is putting, if they're putting no preservatives, no artificial colors. Because one, you have to keep up with the competition, and then also you have to stand out from the competition. Um, but I can see like the no preservatives and no artificial colors might be bigger selling points than like 5 simple ingredients. But you could try kind of all three.
Excellent.
Perfect. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Lisa. Appreciate it. All right. So next on the list, we have Lena with Good Luck Hot Sauce.
Which one?
Oh, was that Good Luck
Which
Hot
one?
Sauce? The link is in, yeah, this one. Is it Lena or Elena?
Lena, hi,
Lena. Okay.
nice to see you.
Welcome on in.
Yeah, I
So,
also have my new packaging here, right here.
Oh, let's see if we can see that.
Lena, would you mind clicking on the video button on Zoom just to turn off the blur? If you click on video and then it'll say blur my background, you can
Oh,
uncheck
okay.
that. And then that way we can make sure to see the packaging. Okay. There we go.
Perfect. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's looking fun. It looks a little, is it just the lighting or it looks a little darker? You were very saturated on Amazon and it looks darker, more like
Oh, I think
burgundy.
it's mostly the light. Also, this one was mushroom, so it's a little bit darker red.
Okay.
The one on Amazon is more like a fresh chili, so it's lighter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that one also says mushrooms, but I guess it's mushrooms
Oh.
and maybe mushrooms and peppers. Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Lena, would you like to give just a quick 20-second overview of what your product is?
Yeah, so this is like a from Sichuan, a small farm. So it's a chili sauce with mushroom. So it's low calorie, high quality ingredient. It's also very accessible. So it's like a set about $7 for retail.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then
Um
what is the use case? Because it seems almost like it's portable, but once you open it, you would have to consume the whole thing.
yeah. So one set is about think it's about 3 ounces. So it's kind of like from the original like city, like people love to carry their own chili sauce, their favorite chili sauce, and they take their own to restaurants or meet with friends and they consume the whole jar, the whole can within a meal or even travel with it. So the founder wanted to take that story, original story, into this product. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm just a little concerned about like if once you open it, you basically have to eat it then. So what if you were at home and you wanted to use it? Is there any resealability on the function
Uh-huh.
side?
Or is it
We
meant to be
actually have
designed just single use?
we actually had a cap. Um yeah, but some of the consumer like before we did a test, some of the consumers said they don't like plastic and they usually like throw it away or didn't really know what it's used for, so they lost it. But originally we do have a cap, so once you open a jar, you can reseal it. Yeah.
Okay, just curious about that. And then you just use it basically as hot sauce for any type of food, or is there specific types of uses or meals
Um,
affiliated
For
with?
any food, and we're not that spicy. We're also low sodium, so it's actually recommended to consume like with family, with friends within one meal. Yeah.
Okay, and then I know you have it's like mushrooms and hot sauce. What is the background for using like the mushrooms? Is it that just added flavor or
Yeah, added the umami flavor, and also like the farm itself is actually chili and mushroom. So they wanted to showcase, their fresh mushroom flavor. It's really tasty. Yeah.
yeah? Are you able to bring up the packaging again so we can
Yes.
perfect. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I love the branding and the contrast is really good. It like really grabs the attention right away. That's something that I automatically saw. You said they're not that hot, and I feel like the name Good Luck automatically makes me think like good luck. It's super super spicy. So I think that's a little bit of a red flag because
Mhm.
people that really want spice might be disappointed, and then people that don't
Oh,
want like super spicy might not buy it. So
okay.
that's something to think about. I know you don't want to hear that we should look at the name, but that is something to maybe circle back.
Oh,
I
that's an interesting point. Yeah.
yeah, and I also noticed that your logo is different than what you have on the Amazon packaging logo.
Oh, yeah, there was like that boy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
removed it. Yeah, that was like we were deciding. Yeah, we wasn't sure. Yeah, we weren't sure.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, because the logo style I think could have a little more personality to it. The
Mhm.
way that it's designed and styled out, it almost looks like Craftsman Tools, like a tool company, and just out of context, right? And you always want to fit into your market. So it should look like a food brand. And I think if you just put good luck and you ask someone what that was, I don't know if they necessarily think it's a food brand, um,
Mhm.
as much as maybe like a tool company or something around like construction, the way that
I
it's
see.
styled. But the contrast that you have is fantastic, where you got the hot sauce. I like how the
Mhm.
letters overlap. So the attention in the peripheral styling is probably really strong because it's two of the best ways to get peripheral styling and grab people's attention is either color blocking, so you take up more shelf space, or by contrast. So you
Mhm.
have the good contrast there, which is amazing, and the branding there could be tweaked. But you're in the right direction because you're definitely going to grab people's attention and curiosity. Um,
Mhm.
let's see, it said stir fried mushroom, one meal, one can. The only thing one big thing that I'm a little concerned about is the education barrier. I
Mm.
think some people are not going to understand exactly what it is, and it says hot sauce, but then it says stir fried mushrooms. Um, I think there's going to be that education barrier on people of how to use it and what it's used for. So that's
Mhm.
something that you might want to build into the can, or into the packaging. And then you have some small text underneath, but I can't actually read what that is. Is that just like the contact information? It is.
Uh, yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah,
It,
so that could probably move to the back, right? Because we want to look at the front real estate as your billboard, right? It has to sell
Mhm.
the product for you when you're not there. So the back information can have secondary information or like contact information, anything that's not going to
Mhm.
make the sale that they can look at. But I don't think having the contact information on the front is this only being sold on like wholesale, or is actually what the customer would actually get with this new back?
Oh, actually, it's in
Cus-
detail, so the customer will get it.
Okay. Yeah, so I would probably put the contact information on the back because that front real estate should be something that's going to one attract customers to make them tell them why they should buy your product over the competition and then
Mm-hmm.
ultimately make that sale, right?
Yeah.
So I would move that to back. We could have maybe a little more narrative on what it is, what it's used for. For this type of product, what might help you that you should explore, whether that's on the front or the back, is maybe like sometimes for food products, we include a section about ways to use.
Oh,
And then you
yeah.
have nice little icons like try it on pizza, try it on stir fry, try it on this. It makes it fun, but it also educates the user on how we could use it. And that does multiple things. It can educate them on what it's used for if they don't know, but two, it might incentivize them if they are taking it and they're like, oh, I was going to put it on a soup, and now you said, oh, but try it on your pizza. Like, oh, now I want to try that. So you're telling them how to use it, but you're also incentivizing them with a use case to try. So
Yep.
sometimes that can help with your sales as well.
Got
Um,
it.
there's a few things to consider there. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
one meal, one can.
Lena, is this a better version of like, are there competitors that make like a similar sauce of like a mushroom soybean sauce? Is that like a very common food and this is your own take on it? Or is this something that only the farm kind of has put together?
No, it's actually common in Asian kind of condiment and staple. Not like super common in the US yet,
Yeah,
but we do see several players in this place. But like they are more like a chili crisp. So we're more like if you know like the chopped jalapeno, that kind of is like wet
yeah.
kind of chili. Yeah.
Okay, so I think someone mentioned in the chat as well that descriptor or what the product is going to be
Hmm.
important because I think
Mhm.
they're saying like hot sauce is usually thought of as like American like
Yeah.
hot sauce here, which is different than like a chili oil or chili
Hmm.
crisp, and like those are so different. And I was just even looking on like Amazon, and there's another product called like an instant mushroom sauce.
Oh.
Right.
Hmm.
And so maybe it's even just like setting the context of what it is so that people have a
Uh-huh.
better expectation because a lot of people like it. But looking at your reviews on Amazon, it sounds like some people don't know what they're getting.
Yeah.
And so how do you really set that context? Because even from the packaging, and now I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like a
Hmm.
product. And so if someone's never had this before, like they could cause a lot of confusion of what they're
Yeah.
actually getting inside.
Yeah, I totally agree. Also another of our struggle is like this is a better for you, like healthier, low calorie version, but we don't um we don't know if we should put it up front or people just read it because we hot sauce traditionally you're not coming for just health. You're
Yeah.
coming for the flavor and stuff, but it is a better for you version versus like traditional hot sauce. So
I mean, yeah, anything that can differentiate you from the competition is good. So I would explore having that or identifying exactly what are the key selling points. Um,
hmm.
but yeah, I mean, to Jordan's part, that was the biggest thing that stood out was the education barrier. Maybe
Hmm.
changing it from hot sauce to chili sauce or whatever the vernacular
Or
is would
mushroom
help.
sauce or
Mushroom sauce, but even the
mushroom
mushroom
chili.
sauce I think would
That's
be
true.
confusing because it's almost like maybe like hot mushroom sauce. I would wordsmith it and look because people that are accustomed to it might be drawn to it, although that might still have confusion just from the name hot
Yeah.
sauce, even for your current market. But we also want to widen it for the American audience as well. That way you can expand further.
Yeah, totally agree. Yes.
Yeah, so
And
I
I
think
don't
the
know if there's a
design's in the
way,
right
but
direction, but missing key education and key selling points.
Hmm.
I will say if you look through your Amazon reviews, which I'm sure you have, the number one negative point is that it's not resealable.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
so,
that was my one of my biggest concerns on the
yeah,
functionality
Sanders
that I was
noticed that
asking about.
immediately.
Yeah, I love hot sauce, and my girlfriend is obsessed with hot sauce. We put it on everything, but if it's
Yeah.
open in one time, then I'm gonna be deterred from maybe using that. And that could also actually hurt your lifetime value, right? Because if a customer gets it, they're gonna wait to open it for that perfect moment versus just open it, buy another can, buy another can, buy
Oh
another.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's something to think about too. If you know if it's opened one and done, then they're probably gonna wait to open it.
Yeah,
So the repurchase is going to be slower.
Okay.
sure. Yep.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Anne. Thanks, Nina, for sharing.
Yep.
It looks
Thank
like
you.
we have time for maybe one more, maybe two more. Um, let's see. We have Dennis with Janula, Just Nuts Granola.
Great.
Which one are we looking at?
Maybe, is it Janula?
Janula, correct.
Okay, perfect. Ginola, perfect. Let me open
Right.
that
In
up.
fact, let me, if it's okay, I'm going to let me fix my camera here real quick because I want to show you the packaging versus what's online.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem. That seems to be
It's
the theme
changed a bit
today.
what's
So,
online. So here's our current packaging.
Mhm.
Okay, so first of all, Sanders, appreciate your time and talent. Jordan, you crush it. I really, really, you add some tremendous value with all your emails you send out and stuff you do. I really, really
Oh,
appreciate it.
appreciate it, Dennis.
Give you a shout out for that.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
we are currently D2C only. We've been around for a couple of years, and so we do our own labels and put them on here. Here's what ours looks like right now. Each of the flavors has that bar that, sorry, Janula is just nuts granola. It's tree nuts, no peanuts, no soy, no oats, no added sugars. It's absolutely gluten-free, grain-free. And this is, anyway, this is how our labels look currently on the front.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Back labels in are a bit more detailed. Can you read those okay? Is it backwards to you or no?
No, we can
No,
see it normal.
it's positioned correctly.
All right, it's backwards to me. I go, oh, that makes sense. Anyway, so we have a little bit of a descriptor about the flavor on top, some of the different aspects of it, from the gluten-free and so forth. Um, this is what the back label looks like then.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of information. I think it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. A lot of valuable information, but it's also a lot. It's a little
Okay.
busy. So yeah, I mean, I love that you have the selling points on there. Looks like you have a brand message. I think you have a lot of value on the back, but maybe organize it a little bit so it's a little bit cleaner, a little more cohesive on those sections.
Right. So, but
You
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying part of it is we had to minimize our costs. So we have one label on the front, one label on the back. And so we had to kind of go with what we had available, from an Avery label perspective, quite literally. So we're
Mm-hmm.
looking to go to print bags at some point here yet this year. So more to come, but go ahead.
Yeah, and I see that you also have the social media handles, which is good. You could also add like QR code, to maybe check out the website, or a landing page would be really good. If you're only doing D2C, then that would be a good portion to have maybe a landing page that goes to a discount or something, incentivizes their next purchase as well.
Okay.
Especially if you're doing D2C, that's easy to say, hey, 15% off your next purchase, or 10% off your next purchase, or for like a first time, one time code. But that can immediately get someone that's a new customer to immediately jump in and grab another one. Or you can ask for like online reviews, something along the marketing language. You have a lot more control on the D2C side than the retail side, because they're going to be less restrictive, obviously, of any marketing language that you put. So while you're on the D2C side only, I would probably leverage that.
Okay.
Let's go to the front though, because that's a bigger priority. Okay, so I actually like it. It's very clean, very minimalistic. I like the logo style. I am a little concerned with the legibility or the readability of the logo. I think some people could look at it and not sure if it's a Junula or how to pronounce it. I initially thought it was a J, but I wasn't sure, and I had to even double check. And I'm assuming there's probably some customers that might question that. But the logo font style, I think, is good. You have nice bold branding, which is clean. I like that you have the gluten-free, the grain-free, no sugar, no added sugar. Some good selling points, but not too busy. The Just Nuts granola, it's good. It with just enough chocolate is really bolded. That might be a little confusing for a customer walking down an aisle or someone is looking at it. You might want to promote maybe the granola portion first, because then they're like, oh, it's kind of at a quick glance, it's almost marketed as chocolate versus granola. And I think some of your other flavors are like that too. It's like cherry berry. So
Right.
might
Right.
be like a little initial confusion there. If they see that and think it's chocolate, they might move on and not go for the granola. Obviously, on the D2C side, you have less of an issue with that, but still be concerned about that on the retail side.
Okay.
With 80% dark chocolate and figs. You could, so you have the net weight pretty high up, but it's really just for compliance. You can move that probably to the bottom. That would free up a little bit of real estate as well. What are some of your other like differentiation from the competition?
Um,
Or
those
why
are the
should
big,
someone buy your product?
well,
Over the other options.
yeah, I mean, that's what we've got. It's basically, it's a fact that's tree nuts, no oats, it's absolutely just nuts, is a big part of that. No added sugars is a big one as well.
So I would, yeah. So okay, so you said there's no oats. It's
Correct.
just the granola. Okay, that might be something to consider putting. I mean, you already have the gluten free, so I guess that's kind of indicative.
But not necessarily. There's some gluten-free oats that are out there too. And so, you
There
know,
are, but there's a lot of oats that so there's a lot of products because my girlfriend's celiac, so we're familiar
right,
with this. A lot of oats, the way they're processed, are not celiac safe, even if
right,
it's gluten free. It's the way they're processed. So a lot of products will actually advertise gluten free, but then we find out they have oats and it's still not safe. So the fact
exactly.
that yours doesn't have any oats might still be somewhat of a selling point to mention. We can reconfirm the gluten free aspect.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, what are some of the other differentiators of why someone would purchase yours over the competition?
I mean, our target groups, we got three different target groups that come to us. We have youngers and sort of the millennial category, a little bit younger, that come. They've been healthy from the beginning. They're just looking to health hack a bit more, so they find our products. We have people my age, if you will, that are trying to eat better as they age and looking for their health span, improving health span. And they're sort of looking to eat better products as well. And then the third group, where I mentioned your girlfriend, with celiac diabetics, because our products are very, very friendly. I mean, very compatible with people. Even just I'm gluten sensitive, not celiac, but sensitive, and this meets my need as well. So those are things that when people come up, like at a farmer's market, they tell us you're speaking my language. We're talking about the attributes of the products, and
Mhm.
that's why they buy from us. And it tastes amazing too, is the other. I mean, that's the big thing, but you have to try to believe that, right?
Yeah, I mean, so there's definitely some selling point information or narrative you can add. The big thing I think that we probably want to increase is the tastiness, right? So the design is very clean, very minimalistic. You have a lot of white, which shows that it's like purity of ingredients, almost medicinal. All right, but if it's really flavor centric, then if we added some color to your packaging, then it
Hmm.
could be really a unique flavor experience per per bag that you try, but also it'll look really tasty because people are more attracted to vibrance. You can still have some contrast in there, but I would try to add a little more color. The other thing too is you can also maybe showcase some of the food imagery onto the packaging. I know you
Hmm.
have the clear band. That can go either
Right.
way though. A lot of times when you have clear packaging, a lot of it can actually make it look perceived cheaper. You have to think about Apple. Like Apple doesn't show, they don't have plastic on their packaging. It shows, render of the phones or whatever the device is. But really cheap electronics will show the plastic. Sometimes that carries over food and beverage. There's obviously a lot of outliers and asterisks to that. Um, but there's ways that you can have maybe a smaller window or a window just on the back.
Hmm.
And if you show the food image, sometimes that could help. This could go either way, but you still could have some food elements on the package either way. That way it kind of boosts the incitement of the flavors, right?
Yeah, fair point. And I appreciate you taking a stab at this because there's not much to go on. I get that. And but we are, like I said, we're looking to go into production on some bags later this year, real bags, printing our own bags. So we have full both sides we could be working with instead of trying to do, if you will, the minimalist approach we've taken here just to get to get something out there. So
Yeah. I would add some color, and then
Mhm.
on each one you have like the other one has cherry berry, which I think is better. This one says just enough chocolate, but it has 80% chocolate and figs. I think there's ways that we could probably call attention to the flavor, add some color, and then maybe add some of those food elements, because even
Okay.
though you see it, reality never looks as good as manipulated images, right? And that's the reason it always looks tastier. So if you add some of those,
Right.
it can still incite, even if you still show the transparent portion.
I appreciate that. You'd be surprised, people at farmers markets, but they look at the cherry berry and they're trying. I said, "Do you ever make a spinach salad?" They're like, "Oh yeah." I said, "It's killer. It's a topper." Like, "Ooh," which goes back to your point of showing different food aspects of how to enjoy it, perhaps.
Yeah, so yeah, if I never even thought of putting that on a salad, to be honest. So this might be a good use case again for on the back having ways to use, or you
Okay.
could even put that potentially on the front. If you did put it on the front, I would want it to be almost secondary though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to compete with any of the other information or make it too busy.
Right.
Um, but that could also be a good incentive for you to put
Okay.
somewhere on
All right.
packaging.
Great.
Perfect.
Thanks
I
much.
love that.
Appreciate it.
So we are just at our time. Thanks so much, Dennis, for coming on, and everyone else for letting us take a look at your packaging. I hope that was super helpful. If we didn't get to anyone, I dropped a link um, in the chat to book a one-on-one time with Sanders. So if you did talk to him already, or if you want to get some extra time, definitely do that so you can get specific insights on your brand. I know is super fast here, but hope that was helpful and you could learn a little bit from each other as well. And just to close out as well, we do have a number of upcoming webinars that you can check out at foodbevy.com/webinars and sign up for those for more engaging content like this. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks again, Sanders. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, everybody.